I'll have to make up my mind this week because the deadline is Friday, but I'm thinking very hard. I'm speaking to my family. I'm looking at the pros and the cons, and I'm tending in the direction of doing so. But as I say, it's not final yet.
Whose idea was this?
I was approached by someone who said, would I put my hat in the ring? And at first I just laughed and said, this is outrageous. And that was already about a year ago. And I was canvassing and doing a lot of headhunting for the right people. And we had some good prospects, some very good prospects. But you must remember that people from the very top echelons of business and society in general, across the board, of all backgrounds, to do a job like being mayor of Johannesburg and fixing Johannesburg at the salary of what they pay the mayor of Johannesburg is not very attractive to people. So that is the big issue there. And of course, that's not my issue. I don't mind about that. And my only obsession is to try and fix South Africa for my own grandchildren, but everybody else's children and grandchildren.
Now, I would imagine many people would balk at the task uh, because of the extent of the decay. So, what would your priorities be if you were to become mayor?
Well, the very first thing you have to do, and that's if I go through it and if I get the nod, because I mean, the DA has very tough selection criteria. If I go through the process and get the nod, my first objective will be to stabilize the finances. Johannesburg has a capital infrastructure backlog of 200 billion rand, and the entire city's budget is 86 billion rand. So, what are you going to do about that? And how are you going to address that? I have some ideas of how we would start to address that, but the bottom line is that it'll take more than 5 years. And what I can do is stop the rot and turn the ship around or start turning the ship around. And then probably it'll be for my successor to steam off into the correct direction.